Okay, so where we left off from last week, essentially the party got into a bunch of shenanigans with the deck of many wild surging things, and a lot of bad things happened back to back to back. Big Toon drew a card that bound him in chains that suppressed all magic effects that were on him, and he was immobile. Yeah, can't move. He has access to his head. Everything else is restricted. No magic. Spiky chains. It's a great time. Aethros became a marble statue for all of maybe the equivalent of an hour or 45 minutes as Ibrin went off to get the Mishan from the House of the Morning Lord. Ohno reappeared. Miris finding him walking through town, and he reunited with the party and saw a marble Aethros and saw a black orb because Ibrin pulled prank on a Big Toon who was stuck in the ground. And essentially, Ohno reunited, realized that the party had acquired this particular item, and the after effects of that, such as Miris and Big Toon now gaining telepathy out to 90 feet, which we clarified, it's one-way communication for that type of telepathy. Ibrin came back with Mishan, and with the last diamond that the House of the Morning Lord had from Ibrin previously, had brought him back from a marble statue. Ohno and Aethros shared a heartfelt moment, and then as Ohno was trying to help with the locks and was consulting with Ibrin, insert peer pressure here to draw cards from the deck, and Ohno became restricted with the same chains that Big Toon had. Chances of that, super low, but they happen. And so now Ohno, who has a book that he got from the library that he said gives him the location of where you guys need to go, is currently stuck on his person because of the chains. And he keeps saying that he has something for Aethros once he gets out. And the party, trying to figure out how they're going to break these chains now that Ohno cannot help, proceeded to try and break them using thieves' tools and failed many a time. Went back to the ship and was like, we need help from Irini. Irini and Maitra were having a great time with some of the remaining super old wine that was found in the bottom of the ship. Slowly but surely, not even slowly, it was a rather quick series of events. Irini got more and more out of it to the point where she was not able to provide help, and when the party went inside the ship, she was passed out alongside the barrel with Maitra, who was super giggly and found the whole situation hilarious. The party realized, after talking to the Child of the Red Sun, that they do have options. That being, they could renegotiate a deal with the Child of the Red Sun, and the party's like, how about you do this out of the kindness of your heart? And it said no. Decided that maybe either Mishan or Scramsax being a former adventurer, maybe they might have some idea for how to break these chains, or at least provide them with additional support. As they set out, Big Toon swore he would only draw 2 cards from the deck after a conversation with Ibrin, and then proceeded to draw 10 cards.
I did not swear anything.
I could have swore you said, yeah, I'll only draw 2 cards.
No, he's trying to persuade him to do only 2, and he's like, I got this. I'll do 10. I'm like, you mother.
Yeah, all he had to do was make an insight check, and then he never should have offered the cards to me, is what really happened.
Okay. Big Toon, knowing full well he was going to draw 10 cards, told Ibrin, yeah, I'll only draw 2. And then drew 10 cards. The party distanced themselves, which was a good thing, because immediately Big Toon fell into a pit, and did end up drawing a card that would help break the chains at the cost of all of his magic items that he was carrying on his person, which was the Ring of Warmth, the Kazoo of Summoning Animals, the new sword that you got, Adamant Avalanche, and there's one more thing that I'm not remembering offhand. Gresh's Bone Dice, which was, you lost all those items, and then immediately after losing said items, you became a sheep, because you had polymorph suppressed on you, and you failed your constitution saving throw, and you became a sheep for the remnants of 1 hour, so you'd have about, the equivalent of, 57 minutes left of being a sheep in a dark pit with no dark vision. So it's really just, you're just in a pit. You're a sheep in a pit buying away. There is no grass for you to eat, unfortunately. But you can walk up walls now. So that's a thing, because that was a positive effect of one of those cards. Out of the 10 cards you drew, very few of them had a continuous effect, but there was one of them that was very detrimental, that was suppressed, and it was a good thing that it was. Did I miss, other than the fact that you and Athros can now both read and write an additional 8 and 10 languages respectively, is there anything else that I missed?
I just have one question, I guess. So, does my telepathy work right now?
I mean,
like how deep is the polymorph? Like,
so you
have the intelligence of a sheep, which is 2 out of 20.
Hold on, how deep is the hole again?
But I'm saying, I mean, if like none of me is in there, then like where did I go?
There was 70 feet for the hole, something like that.
Yeah, I think the first one was 50 feet and the second one was 70, or maybe it was vice versa. Either way, you're like at least 50 feet down.
Right. I'm just saying. I mean, like, because like if I am so much sheep that I don't even have like access to my telepathy, then where the fuck is my soul?
Well, I mean, like it's a temporary like magical effect that you become said creature. So like you have the intelligence of a sheep and the stats of a sheep, and you just like all your like you yourself are technically like you are still within this sheep. You are in the form of said animal, so you are still Bigtoon, but the form that you have become is a very, very watered down. Now, I can't even say watered down. That's not even accurate. You are a sheep, but at what cost? But you are still Bigtoon. Once the transformation wears off, you return to yourself. Like your soul's still there. It's just that you've taken on all of these characteristics of like a sheep. Like if Bigtoon could animorph into a sheep, he would be an animorphed sheep, but he's with the mental stats of one as well. Like you're still there.
So it's like a step above. What do you want to call it? Like when a druid turns into an animal.
Wild shape.
I would call that
wild shape. Yeah.
I would say a step below wild shaping, because druids maintain their mental statistics in their wild.
Well, I guess. Oh, sorry. I think we're on the same. I think we agreed, but in different terms. When I said a step above, I mean like a step further.
Oh yeah.
Like
it's a
like I am more animal than a wild shaped druid.
I would argue that yes, you are.
Okay.
You're
so I can't even like be like, hey, I am sheep, and then when I open my mouth, I just go bah.
It's literally like you have gotten into the zone. Like it's like someone preparing for a role. Like you're focused so hard that you have to like think like that animal, except you don't have to think like it. You just do. Like
okay.
Like druids, they would have to like act the part. Maybe.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Okay.
You don't have to act it. Your intelligence is the equivalent of that of a sheep right now. So you are sheep.
Okay. I just wanted to see if I was going to be able to at least, mentally talk to the party.
That's a no, Roger.
Okay.
You are sheep. So the party, after the final card had expired that Bigtoon had drawn, I imagine some of you would have returned to said pit to see if he was okay, and you just see a sheep hanging out at the bottom of this 50 to 7. I think it was 70. Yeah, the 70-foot pit.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh, and then we also discussed how all these holes that form in the ground are permanent as well.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a random 50-foot hole in the middle of Brinchander outside the town hall that they don't know about. So some poor sucker.
You did find a hideaway.
Just fall down.
Yeah, I know it's in an alleyway.
We gotta put a bunch of leaves on top of it, make it a trap. Laugh at them.
Here's my thought. We go back and we say, listen, we just solved part of your trash problem. You can just dump all your garbage into here. And then we're even further the heroes of Brinchander.
Yeah. They should be paying us for these holes.
Right.
hear a buying in the distance, echoing off the 50-foot walls of this freaking.
Oh yeah, sorry. Bah!
Did we leave
looked down.
Ohno at the ship?
No, I don't think so. I thought you were carrying him. You or Miris, I thought was carrying him into town.
Yeah, I think I was carrying him.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I was carrying Neptune.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because Aethers is the only one who can lift him.
Well, as a sheep, he still has the ability to climb up walls. So does he figure that out on his own, or what?
Well, I feel like I have to directly put my hoof on the wall to like activate it, wouldn't I? Like Spider-Man style.
I would.
I feel like a sheep would not naturally do that.
I feel like you're right. Like hypothetically, he could, but I don't think a sheep would.
I feel like I'd have to like roll an intelligence check to like try to touch the wall with my hoof.
And you have an int of 2, so it'd be a minus.
Exactly.
Minus 3 to that roll.
Exactly.
Well, so looking down the hole, do I see the deck down there? Because a lot of this happened without us knowing. I just want to make sure that deck of cards,
Yeah, I mean, I was not holding it. We discussed that at length last time because that's the only reason it didn't disappear.
I would say make a perception check, Aethros.
I'm gonna give myself guidance because I'm really looking for this thing. Like, where is it?
I'll cast dancing lights so he can see down there.
Oh, I got 300-foot dark vision. Don't worry, I can.
Good. You see, not directly like on the back where the rear end of the sheep is on the ground, near like its back left hoof. You would see on the dirt that has formed from this massive pit, a little dusty on the case, but the deck is still there.
I look at like Ibrin and Mirrors, like it. I'm going for that. And I
for the love of God, no! Just grab him.
I jump down,
deck,
and then
damn it.
Yeah, I use my steps of the night so I can fly for a minute in when it's dark or dim light.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm assuming in this pit it's pretty dark.
It is.
Also, just in the north, it's dark in general.
Depending on if Ibrin continued to cast dancing lights, regardless, that would depend on if it is dim light or bright light. But it would technically be darkness otherwise. So.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot about his field of vision for a moment. So let's just say I did that for all of us to look down, and then I remembered and be like, oh yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah,
need it.
you did that well up by you guys, and yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, you would be able to
jump down. Yeah. I fly down, pick up the deck of cards, look at the sheep. Big Tune, is that you?
Bah!
Bah or Big Tune?
Bah!
Look at the deck of cards.
I walk into him. I just bump into him.
Like, well, fuck you.
Bah!
All right. I put the deck of cards in my pocket.
Okay.
Pick up this sheep. Look at my non-existent watch. Like, okay, I got maybe 40 seconds left. All right, I'll lift you up. Fly out of the hole.
For its very woolly size, the sheep is quite light.
Yeah.
The sheep does not understand why, but it is irrationally angry right now because it doesn't have the deck.
So put the sheep down.
Bah!
Pull out a dagger.
Oh god.
Ah!
Look at the sheep.
You're gonna
I
stab
grab the sheep. Slowly start putting my dagger to the sheep.
Bah! Bah! Sheep steps away.
I'm holding on to the wool. Like, you can't
Sheep
go anywhere.
attempts to step away.
Okay.
And then I start to cut the wool off. I'm like, this will make it a very warm blanket. And just start trying to cut all the wool off of it.
Shear the sheep in the middle of a winter wonderland.
Yeah.
Love this for you. Okay, I want you to make a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
If the sheep is gonna be, sheep tune, are you Are you actively trying to get away from said daggered man that you don't recognize?
Yes.
I'm gonna say make a sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Alright.
Did not matter. Okay.
Yeah.
Even with this sheep actively trying to get away from you, over the course of maybe the next, I'd say 5 or so minutes, you would be able to shear a rather large amount of wool off of its body.
Is this gonna affect my hair or my mane?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Because if so,
he's gonna be looking like a bald kitty cat when he gets transformed back.
Oh, this is gonna be even. I'm excited to see how this is gonna turn out.
I would say, because sheep have they are a large amount of wool. I'm gonna say you probably get off of Sheep Tune, with the density of the wool, I'm gonna say you probably have about 5 pounds of wool that you've just accumulated off of his Sheep Tune torso.
Okay. Remember how to add item.
Oh yeah, we haven't done that since the sheet's updated.
Well, I traded one for the Brunchander badge, and I purposely wrote down the description wrong, and it's what Aethros thinks, but it's definitely not correct.
Oh, I see. I did also add to your inventory yours and Big Tune's a silver seal of Brunchander underneath your tools. So you can keep them both if that's how you feel. That's totally fine. I think you have to open up on the is that where you have to do it? You might have to open up the edit menu on the top left to add something.
Oh, it's bottom right. There's a little plus.
Oh, okay.
I just added it as loot.
Perfect.
It's gonna be turned into something shortly, hopefully.
Checks out. Ohno would look over at the now barren sheep, and Sheep Tune, you're feeling a little bit cold now. It's a little chilly without all your wonderful wool on you. Ohno would look down at the now bare sheep. Is that
I
Big
turn him
Tune?
around so he can't see.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I got this under control.
Wait, now that he's been de-wooled as a sheep, is he taking any cold damage?
Not yet. But if he doesn't find warmth soon, which I feel like would be the sheep's next desire, I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
He will probably within the next, like, I would say 5-10 minutes. He's gonna start taking probably cold damage or have to make con saves. If it makes you feel better, sheep does not have a negative constitution modifier, but they have a +0, so it'd just be a d20.
Better than nothing, I guess.
Oh yeah, I didn't think any of this through, but I'm so happy.
Checks
Well,
out.
do we know that he was polymorphed? Like, do we know, like, it is a spell, or do we just think
I mean...
Or do we go off the assumption?
Well, there are ways that you could test this, like with a detect magic spell, or maybe make an arcana check and just get some rough idea. Might be a good idea. Anybody who
If I
wants
can
to.
at least do the assumption, then I could be like, Aethros did a big brain move here. What, arcana? Alright, well. My guy's on a negative rolling streak for the last 2 sessions. So we're gonna keep it going.
You look over this sheep, and it looks like a sheep. You don't feel like there's any characteristics of Big Tune that might give it away, and you don't really feel anything magical about it, but you're not 100% sure. You're still unanswered. Your question is not answered.
I mean,
Sounds like a sheep.
Big Tune was
you would hear
here.
Ohno
There's
say.
a hole appeared. There's a sheep in the hole. I'm not questioning things. It's the deck.
I mean, I assumed it'd be the deck, but like, did he switch places with a sheep? Did he polymorph into a sheep? There's a lot of questions that we don't have answers here, and all I hear is buying. You would hear like Ohno on like Miras's shoulder.
Regardless,
Well-
the chief's name is Bigtune now, and he is now my new best friend.
Well,
Wait,
you
was
two
Big
could
Two
probably
not your
correct
best friend
me.
before? You'd hear Ohno chime.
This is my new best friend, as in Bigtune was my best friend, but now I got a new best friend.
But if that is Big Tune and he polymorphed, doesn't polymorph stop if you take damage? So couldn't we just damage him and he would revert back? Or would we actually end up killing him
I
for
pick
real?
up the sheep and hold him close to me like, you're not touching the sheep.
You already shaved him, so
Yeah, I gave him a cool haircut.
in the middle of the
Ah.
frozen area.
Yeah, it's cool, or it's cool for him.
Double.
Ohno, you would hear
Negative.
Ohno trying to whisper into your ear, you should punch or stab the sheep. You should do it.
Hey,
It's gonna get
I've
cold.
had a lot of. I've had a
I
lot
have
of.
the dagger in my hand that I sheared him with. I'm like, what? That could hurt him.
What about a light poke on his like right thigh? Not like super deep, but enough to just like get a little drop of blood.
Okay, so I got Tune in my arm, and I got the dagger in my other arm. And I think like, okay, I trust Ohno, and I start to put the dagger to its throat.
No, not there. Leg. Do the leg. You don't need to do the throat. That's something I
if
would
it's
do.
a magical transformation, then yeah, if the sheep dies, then he should just come back. But if it's not,
but-
and we just kill the sheep,
I can just kill
Right.
the sheep,
But-
and we'll be fine.
Hey, from somebody who put a knife to somebody's throat, it's not a good look.
And
Don't do
didn't
it.
do it. Okay, I mean, well,
you could
Like
probably
I said, just do the leg. Just do like the leg or the arm.
I just nick his throat. A little bit.
That's worse than what I did, technically.
as you, Sheeptune, as you feel a dagger nick your throat, you feel a little pain coming out of that. A little trickle of blood pouring down on your no longer covered torso.
Yeah, it's like
kinda
a
cold.
apricot. Okay, and
I feel like you
Still
need to find warmth, Sheeptune.
Yeah. Well, is Aethos actively like holding me in the air at this point?
yeah, like I got you. Like I picked you up. I figured like I'm almost cradling you.
Okay, yeah. Then I just like try to get closer to him.
Do I feel him shiver?
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Okay. Let's see.
Do you still have the wall of blankets?
No, those are on the ship.
Ah, got you.
It's gonna be a lot of Max today, just so you know.
That's fine. Little Maximus.
He is a gremlin nowadays. It's nonstop.
Little chatterbox. Love it.
Well, where were we trying to go in the first place?
I think we were trying to go to see Scramsack, see if maybe he has
Oh,
any
yeah,
insight
yeah,
on how
yeah.
to get these things off of me.
Yeah. How about
Sacks,
we just
and
run to
then
the
your
north
armor
wall.
should be done relatively short too.
Yeah. So I'll just start booking it to the north look. Full on sprint.
I
With
will
the sheep in my arms.
follow.
Cradled like a small child.
Uh-huh.
You book it to the north look. Everybody, I would assume everybody is following. As you push your way open through the doors, you would see once again the familiar sight of Scramsax, not tending the bar this time, but he's sitting by the mantle, enjoying the fire with a pipe in his hand and a drink at his side. And he like sees the door open, and he just sees all of you walk in there. Aethros with you holding a sheared sheep, and Miras coming in with Ohno over his shoulders, bound by these spiked chains. And like you just see him like set down the pipe after like putting it out, and just like let out this large sigh. I can't say this is something that I was expecting to see in here again so soon. Can you
What,
explain?
chains don't excite you?
No, not particularly.
No.
Do I want to know?
No, but you do want to draw a card from this deck.
Well, it's at least 2.
No, thanks. I'll pass. Appreciate the offer, though.
You sure? You could be a sheep. And I like show off.
Ah!
Yeah. Could be a sexy sheep.
Is that out of curiosity? Is that either Irini or Bictune that you're currently holding as a sheep?
Might be a hybrid cat sheep. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's not for dinner then. Didn't find this to cook up.
I mean, oh, you mentioned it. Mutton does taste pretty good.
Yeah, it's a rare commodity around here.
Yeah. And I look at the sheep again like,
You would hear Ohno. We're pretty sure it's Bictune, but no one's really 100% sure. It might be a sheep that swapped places with him, or it's him maybe under like a polymorph spell.
yeah, we're like 90% sure it's Bictune, 10% sure it's dinner. So we're gonna keep it around and figure it out.
I mean, did you? I suppose it's a loaded question, but did you try to stab it? If it's polymorph, he should come back, and you would hear Ohno be like, "We know." But Aethros is growing attached to the sheep.
I mean, I slit its throat, and it's still a sheep.
Well,
that's just a trickle.
You poked the throat. You didn't slit.
You just got
Slit
going
would
for
be
a
a
full-on
problem.
stab.
Exact. Thank you.
Okay, so wait, stab or like, do I need to kill this?
Well, just in case if it's still Bictune, like I said, you could probably stab the leg and at least heal that. But if you do the throat, that might be a little bit harder to fix.
Like, I feel like you would know more than Ebrin.
My adventuring days. If you kill the creature that they are transformed into with that polymorph spell, they revert back to how they were before they were transformed in the first place.
So I need to kill the sheep.
You would need to try and kill the sheep. And if it's not a sheep, then Bictune should reappear right next to you. Or in your arms, I guess. And if it's a sheep, well then we have dinner.
Alright, I guess that settles it. I put the sheep on the ground. I look him in the eyes. I pull out my spear breaker. And I go and swing right on his head.
Sheeptune. he just sets you down and just as you're like looking around at this very warm environment. You look at it, you just see the hammer just come down. Aethros, I want you to make an attack roll for me.
Do I get an advantage? Because like I mean he's just right there.
Yeah. Sheep is very out of it right now.
Yeah, sheep is terrified. It's peeing right now.
23's gonna hit.
Okay, so roll for damage?
Roll for damage.
At this point I'm not using a shield, so it would be the versatile. Normal.
Okay. As you bash hold on. There's a better word for that. Nah. As you bash the head in of this sheep as it hits the ground, Bictune, you feel your mental state return to you. And in a flash of light, as your sheeptune mentality and your form disappears, everybody would watch as forming out of the body that is laying on the ground of the sheep, you would see Bictune, once again emerging from. He's no longer shackled, and
Oh.
all of your fur is still intact, and you do not take any of the extra damage. I believe just once it hits 0, it breaks the transformation. Wild shape, it takes the wild shape. It does to the druids, but
That's definitely a moment I was just like, ah, fuck, what the fuck?
yeah, you would
As I,
you
as
would
I-
remember your time as Sheeptune.
Yeah.
So you'd have the trauma of.
The last
The-
thing you saw before you became yourself is the hammer coming down on your
The
poor
very
Sheeptune
first thing I
head.
do is I look at Aethros and I hold out my hand, and I say, you better give me that deck back right now.
But would he actually know that Aethros has the deck though?
If
He
I
would've
remembered
saw
all of
going
it,
down there
yes,
at
I would have
Yeah.
seen him
Yeah.
grab it.
He headbutted into Aethros, just
Ow.
as a sheep as he was grabbing the deck off the ground, so he'd know that Aethros has it.
Yeah, so I put my hammer away, put my hand in my pocket, grab the deck out. I have it in both hands, like holding it a little close to me. Look at you, look at the deck. I think about pulling a card. I'm like, and slowly hand it over to you,
Thank you.
and then,
I take it and I put it away.
well, as you take it, like, I still have my hand on it, like, I kind of want to hold on to it. Then after a while, I'll let go and just, like, I want it.
I know.
Definitely don't have an addiction. I can stop drawing cards whenever I want. I want to draw a
Listen.
card now, though.
Don't worry, Aethros. I'm not going to necessarily prevent you from taking any cards. I just think for the moment we need to be good boys.
I start, like,
I'd like to be
scratching my
freed from
neck, like,
these chains.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah,
too.
we're-
Oh yeah, we gotta get Ohno. Once we fix Ohno, we can pick more.
Unfortunately, so is her
Okay,
chain.
that sounds like a
It's
fair
gotta be
compromise.
something. Maybe she lost it at Salsonite.
We can only have one person in chains at a time. How about that?
How
Yeah,
about
yeah.
how about none of us are in chains? Because if only one person can be in chains, that means this is just
Listen,
a
don't
fine
you-
situation I got myself in.
Don't you kink shame me?
I mean, we want to, like,
How do you know I didn't enjoy my time in the
yeah.
the shackles?
Did you enjoy your time as a sheep?
The sheep? Well, we're not going to talk about that.
The back of your mind, you just replay the hammer coming down for like a hot second.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like now I realize how hungry I am because I am the thing that I wanted to eat.
You
Yeah.
would
Or
just
I
hear
was the thing that I want to eat currently.
as you're all conversing, you would just hear Scramsax mumbling, "Freaking want some buttons, hoping it was a real sheep." Just a little disappointed that it wasn't a real sheep.
Yeah, we kind of all are.
Ibrin, as you try to break the locks on Ohno once again, they are not budging.
I think you're just stuck like this, Ohno.
So, I'm assuming that you came here looking for some help, or you're coming for drinks, or what's your flavor today, or this evening? I saw you earlier.
We're just here to see your favorite friend. And also, do you know how to pick magical lock?
Also, I'm hungry. Do you happen to have mutton?
Well, as I was saying when you were a sheep, mutton's kind of it's hard to come by around here. I got some stuff I can throw on the burners in the back, but won't be ready for a little while if you're hungry.
Okay.
I got this. Don't worry. And I cast create food and water. And I'm hoping there's some mutton in there. It's 45 pound.
45. I would say I would give you creative freedom to decide what kind of food it is, but just keep in mind that it is bland.
Yeah, so
Bland but nourishing.
yeah, it is actually 45 pounds of mutton, but not the greatest mutton. It was an old sheep that this mutton came from. Like, it's a little tough. It's not as flavorful, but it's still mutton. Just because the only thing on Aethros' mind right now is, man, he could have used some mutton.
As the party is looking over at this giant like array of various slices of mutton, Ohno just lets out this like giant sigh. And he's just like, "I'm never gonna get out of these things." And you would see Scramsax walk up, and he would like take like a sliver, like a small piece, and he would take a bite, and he's like, "Shit has no flavor. Let me go grab some seasoning from the back." he like just disappears to go grab something to make it taste just a little bit
Yeah.
better.
Just throw
Come
some
back out
salt on
shortly.
it.
Some salt and just like some spices that he had imported at one point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He passes it around to anybody who wants it. He would take another slice of mutton and he would look over at Ohno and like to the party. I'm sorry to say it, but magical locks really aren't my speciality. Something like that. If your friend there is having a hard time picking it, I don't think I'm gonna be any better at it. Provide some pointers maybe, but it's probably nothing you don't already know.
Do you have the ability to inspire or
Do you know anyone that might know
motivate?
how to pick a lock?
do you have any items that get me more proficient in picking locks or anything like that? Or know anybody who does?
Not here in 10 Towns. I got connections down south, but they ain't gonna help you right now. As far as in town here, for anybody else, I don't even think someone like Mishan's gonna be powerful enough to help break these kinds of chains here.
Oh,
Might
that's
be
a good thought. Speaking of Mishan, you know where we can get some diamonds up here?
Well, truthfully, given the recent series of events, your best bet to get some diamonds, if you're in the north, a bit farther than Brinchander here, would be to maybe make a stop in the Dwarven Valley, talk to some of the dwarves who work in the mines up there. We get our ore from up there. I know Elza and Garn just got a shipment of mithril not long ago, and they were very excited about that. But as far as diamonds, they're going to be the ones who hold that kind of power. We don't see a lot of them come our way, so when we have them, we keep them on reserve. But I know Mishan, over the last week or two, has been trying to help maintain some level of stability in town here, and some untimely deaths have been undone. So, I don't really think, if she has any, it'd be best to talk to her, but if she doesn't have any, the dwarves in the north are going to be your best bet.
Those aren't the ones in Mizo knees, is it?
Mienzo Canis?
Yeah.
Well, Mienzo Canis isn't a dwarven establishment. Those are drow down there. You don't want to go. You don't want to go to Mienzo Canis.
Yeah, and aren't you Drow, Ibrin? Or part Drow?
I was gonna say I kind of make like eye glances at everybody else, like we were just there, but okay. I mean, I'm half, yeah.
Ibrin,
You're trying to all look alike.
make a history check with advantage,
History.
because it wasn't that long ago. You would recall that you were actually at Sunblight Fortress.
See, I thought we started in Sunblight and ended up over there.
No,
Gotcha.
you started below Brinchander and traveled through the Underdark to Sunblight, but you had the option of going to Sunblight or Mienzo Canis to get out of the Underdark. And you guys chose Sunblight because the Drow were Tilly and the rock gnomes that you had found were being hunted by the Drow of Mienzo Canis because they had escaped imprisonment.
Gotcha. Well, we definitely could use some more health potions, so Sunblight wouldn't be a horrible pit stop.
Given the current chain of events, though, do you have time?
Yeah, it kind of seems we're in charge of saving everything again.
Charge of saving everything again.
Yeah, I mean, like, we had to save this city from, a giant spell, then a giant dragon, and then Devessa's got us wanting to do other things for her, for a plot of land up here, which
You
I don't
said
want
no
to
to that.
Yeah, well, you weren't
So it's
technically
not-
there for, so you already
I
left
don't
the
see your
room.
badge.
You didn't
As
check my
Aethos kind of
persons,
shows off
did
his-
you?
Well, you're not displaying your badge. If you're not,
Okay.
then you're not one of the guard.
Don't need a badge.
Yeah,
There are
isn't that
rules and
like,
regulations that we gotta abide by.
Yeah, don't you? Isn't it like you have to say if you're a cop? You can't just like
Yeah.
hide.
I'm a cop, all right.
There's no such thing, sir.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's always been the rule. You got to say if you're a cop. If you're a cop.
And I'm a cop. Here's my badge. And if you're a cop, you gotta tell me. Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
breaking the law, and I'm taking you to jail.
Yeah.
Sure to tell.
Anyway, Abrin, as he's behind the bar right now, not like cleaning anything, but he like pours a tankard of an ale, and he would give one to each of you who are here. He would even set one out for Ohno, and then realize Ohno can't drink it right now, but he would just keep it there anyway. As he's pouring his tankard for you, Abrin, he would say, Abrin, you make it sound as if you were forced to participate in those things versus having the choice to walk away. But you did the right thing, and you stayed to help. That's the life of an adventurer. Does everything require you to stay and do it? You weigh that morality on your shoulders, choose to do what you feel is best in that moment. Now don't get me wrong, I am eternally grateful for the work that you guys have done, saving the town twice over now. There's a reason why everyone's praising your name. But you don't sound thrilled.
Not really, no. But that stings between Dubesta and I per our last conversation. Plus, we've got other things going on in our party right now. This Child of the Red Sun, espionage and spying, and we have some other guys, evil doppelganger, trying to kill us, who attacked Kneat last time. So it's just more shit that keeps getting added into a long pile or list. And one of our party members' sisters was kidnapped, and her other sister's trying to use her for some ritual.
And the other
there's
sister,
something
he
going
tried to
on
slit her
with.
throat.
Well, yeah, but I didn't. You're right. Hey, you're actually the only person in the party to physically harm somebody of our own party. So you beat me to the punch on that.
I beat you
And
to
then
the
there's
stab and the hammer.
the hammer. Oof, that was
That was a good pun!
That was.
You would hear
that was
Ohno as he's
something.
like trying to stay sitting on a bar stool, but he can't
Oh,
do it.
yeah. Just for my own frame of reference, when I hit the sheep's head, did like any blood and guts like splatter all over the place, or was it just an instant transformation? Like, is there sheep blood on the floor?
I'm gonna say there's not. I'm gonna say
Okay.
when it hit 0, it triggered the transformation back to Big Toon. It did not Gibbs all over the floor first.
Okay.
It did
Yeah, that'd be gross.
It did the Attack on Titan blood where it dissipates right away.
Yeah.
Just didn't bleed beyond just that small nick that you made on it earlier, but that would have frozen on the way to the Northlook. So no blood on the floor, not from the sheep.
Oh, and then there's the stuff with oral going on as well. So, yeah, we've got a lot of. Originally came up here to see what was going on. So, like an onion, there's just a lot of layers to this whole fiasco.
But also like an onion, eventually you're gonna reach the center, and then you're gonna wonder, well, what do I do now? Besides maybe make a nice stew. It's all things to keep you occupied, keep you fit, keep you in adventuring shape. Lord knows I've been through the mill when it came to that too.
There are 15
But
new jobs added to Indeed.
it's not a
every
bad
second.
thing.
So how do you sift?
Truthfully, if I had to choose between being an adventurer or, well, I guess being a farmer or maybe even Duvesta Shane's job, I would take adventuring any day. Yeah, sure, it's not always the greatest payout, and sure, sometimes you get kicked out of towns of differing opinions, but it's all part of the role, Ebrin. You guys are damn good at it.
So if that's the case, why are you running a bar right now versus still adventuring?
Yeah, I hurt my back a few years back and never really been the same. And I'm getting up there in years. I mean, look at my gray hair, and he like strokes the top of his like. I'm gonna say I just envision Scram Sacks with like a flat top for like a hairdo. Look at these gray hairs. Ain't really
I
meant
cast
for the.
lesser restoration on him when he says he has a bad back. I pat him on the back. It's like, he'll be okay. Don't worry.
You feel the
Oh,
the
if he's
magic
got
take
a-
hold on his back, but and he like you can feel him like breathe this like sigh of relief, but at the same time, it doesn't really get rid of it completely. I mean, it's a natural thing that's kind of accumulated over time, but it does provide him with a decent amount of relief, at least for the short-term future here. He'll probably be resting a bit easier.
So he's got a flat top. Isn't that the same haircut as Athros?
Yeah, it's stylish. He's a stylish guy, so is Athros. Makes sense.
Flat top with a decent beard.
I mean, does Athros know his father?
I remember, I think in my backstory, my father died. I think I saw him die.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
It triggered a change in Athros, I think. Seeing your father die of some sort. I'll have to look back at it, but I do believe your father is no longer with you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Ibrin. Eventually, you're gonna complete these quests or die trying. The choice is yours whether you want to continue them, but no one's physically, for lack of a better terminology, given your situations, no one's holding a knife to your throat saying do it. You could turn tail, you could run, but are you gonna do it? Are you gonna run away? Or are you going to face these problems head on?
I mean, I am kind of getting annoyed with the cold here, but
Well, to
on
be
the
fair,
other hand,
it is kind of hard to leave the north when the everlasting rhyme has taken effect here. So at the very least, if you're going to do any quest and you're going to ignore the others, at least help us get rid of the oral situation, or try, or give any information to passing adventurers who you think might be able to take up the task. No one's forcing you to, but just know that you're probably stuck here until it's gone.
see what Keen's up to. Get us out of here. But regardless, I do think Athros, your armor should be done about now. Could probably head over there.
Oh, yeah. Get my shiny new mithril armor.
Well, if you need anything else, as he like polishes off his tankard that he has, you know where to find me. Probably be going to bed here soon, just letting the fire die down at the hearth. But don't be strangers. Take care.
Oh, don't worry, we'll be back in a couple hours with something else. Don't you worry.
Please be another sheep. It's like all you hear him mutter. Fuck, I
Oh, like
miss
a
good
real
mutton.
sheep, right? Like, we want actual mutton.
I would like flavorful tender mutton. No offense to your
yeah.
your amalgamation here on this table. It's okay.
Yeah.
It does the job, but it's not good.
We want some baby lamb. We don't want anything too old. We want like, yeah.
Are we talking like veal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bring me back a sheep. I know how to cook. I know how to cook a mean sheep. Just gotta bring me one.
Good to know.
As the party gets ready to take off once again, I assume Ohno over Miris's shoulder again, unless somebody else is gonna carry him. Unable to do anything. You guys are heading to the Black Iron Blades?
Can I just put him in like my backpack and just have him like his head stick out the top? And just carry him that way?
You know what? I would say you could probably finagle something like that. Or like
Okay.
strap him to your back with like some of the supplies you have from like an adventuring pack or something.
Yeah, just some rope, just like tie him to my back. Like, okay, we're
You
good
are
now.
Chewbacca and he is C-3PO.
Uh-huh.
So, big tune there, bud. You're missing some items, it looks like. As I gesture towards his back where his giant sword is no longer showing.
Yeah, I mean, all that shit disappeared. As we step outside, and I'm like, damn, I'm kind of cold.
I'm sure it will
You
come
lost your
back
ring, too?
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's alright, I'll survive. I still got my other cool sword. I just gotta
Yeah.
get to the ship before we fight.
You also have all that fur, kitty. I bet you it's warm.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
I put my hand on like his right shoulder. I'm like, feels better than nothing, but I don't know how warm it
There's
is.
like little icicles all over it.
Right, like it's something, but
Meanwhile, Ohno's in my backpack that has all that wool from the sheep.
Oh yeah,
He's already
Ohno's
supposed to be
cozy.
warm.
Ohno's
Yeah.
cozy right now. He's probably the warmest member of the party besides you, Athros.
Uh-huh. He's probably thinking, you know what? I could get used to this. Someone carrying me around in a nice warm
I don't like
backpack.
the fact that I can't access anything and I can't move, but this is okay.
Yeah.
Get a free ride. I don't get to ride on Athros very much. Usually it's on Big Tune. It's nice.
Yeah.
He would just say like, "Thank you," as you guys like reach the doors of Black Iron Blades and take a step inside. Once again, as usual, the huge temperature difference. It's significantly warmer in here, and you would look and you would see Elza is like kind of dozing off. The doors themselves, while they were still unlocked, you can tell that like they're not expecting anybody right now. But as you guys open up the doors, she would like kind of like shake her head a little bit, slap her cheeks. Ah, you're back. Well, it's good timing too. The mithril itself, the armor, it's all ready to go. Garn, he pulled double time getting it ready for you. And he, well, he put a couple extra details on the armor itself. Let me go fetch it for you. And he would, Elza would take a walk to the back, and you would just kind of hear her, like, talk quietly. You would just hear her talk to Garn. You'd say, "The Broken's back. They're here for the mithril."
I'm
let me
stripping
go.
down
Let me
in
go.
the front area too. Just getting ready to put my armor on.
And as you're like getting ready to swap things around, you would see Garn and Elza, like Garn pulls out the upper chest, like the chest plate itself, and you would see Elza pull out like the other pieces that had to be put together. I kind of freaking. Oh, the ad's gonna take forever. I have to use YouTube Music today because Apple Music is being dumb, so there's gonna be random ads playing in our recording today. Let me grab the item for you.
Roll20 lets you play D&D online for free anytime, anywhere. With intuitive GM tools and
Gotta pull up your
adventures,
character
it's
sheet.
all about the fun, not the setup. And yes, it's totally free to sign up. Create a free account at
You should
roll20.net
have
and start your
in your
epic
equipment
journey today.
the mithril armor now. Put in a few extra details for you there. I know you weren't really great at reading and writing. We discussed that when you first came to town. I remember things. Garn like pokes at his head. So there's little intricate details laying out some divine lore. Just figured you'd be a nice extra touch. Although, you know, you take a few hits with that stuff, the images are gonna start disappearing. But it's nothing that we can't fix it next time you're in town. But I hope you like it. I hope it fits.
Yeah, looks nice. Can't wait to try it out in battle.
Ooh, actually.
As I look at the rest of the people in my party, like, who do I want to fight? Eyeing them up.
I guess I'll ask them. Do you guys do anything with like leather for like, I guess non-weapon related things?
What you looking for, Big Tune?
I was hoping to make like a holster, if you will, something that would prevent something from leaving my person if I don't want it to, at least help prevent that.
The bush he's beating around is he has a deck he doesn't want getting out of his possession anymore.
Oh, you have like you're looking for something that can house like a deck of cards.
Yes. And I pull out my deck of playing cards.
It would be Elza who would approach and take a look at like your deck of playing cards, just like getting like the overall view of the size. Just a standard deck of playing cards, or do you want it to have maybe a little wiggle room in case you want to house like a second deck or something? Some
Whichever
people
you
are
think
weird.
would be more secure.
Well, I think a regular deck size that would probably be more secure if you had. I mean, if you had the ability to house multiple decks, I would say, well, like it's a little bit of play inside the holster itself. I could probably make something like this. I'm gonna be honest though, I'm running on fumes right now. I'd probably start it first thing in the morning. It wouldn't cost you much, not nearly as much as what you guys paid for everything else. A few gold at most, if even, maybe even just a few silver. The leather's not that bad. We get enough shipments and stuff like that coming in from other towns who do a lot of that sort of work. I wouldn't worry about overcharging you guys for anything like that. But I'd probably be starting it in the morning. I'd have it ready for you sometime, probably before midday. Depends on how long you're in town.
Yeah, we'll deal with that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, and we'll see. If you're around in the morning, or if we're around in the morning, I should say, I'll stop by and I'll see what's going on. I was just curious.
I have extra supplies here. I'll throw one together for you, and I'll just keep it on standby. You can pay me when you stop in next.
Make it for a couple of decks worth.
I was gonna say, if you make it big enough, you could get some dice again and put the dice behind the deck.
I'll make it a little bigger. I'll make it big enough that you could fit at least 2 decks of cards. 2 decks of standard playing cards.
Sounds like a plan.
You got yourself a deal there, Big Toon.
If you got a way for me to like secure it, that way I know it's there and it's not going to fall out, that's even better.
I can put fasteners on it. That's not a big deal. Compared to everything else that people have been asking or wanting, for example, this is child's play. Whenever you stop in next, I'll have it ready for you.
Alrighty.
As long as it's not like right at sunrise. But you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
And at this point, they would look over at you, Aethros. How's it fit? Looks good on you.
Good. Yeah. I like it.
Well, I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, so I do have one other thing I was wondering if you could make me.
I'm listening.
And I pull out all the wool that I sheared off Sheeptune. Could you make this into a cloak? Like a really thick, warm, woolly cloak?
I could probably do that. I got supplies here. We have a loom. At least not. It's not near the forge itself, but I got one back at the abode. I could throw something together for you, Big Toon. Not Big Toon. Sorry. I was fascinated by the idea of a deck case. Aethros, I can throw one of those together for you.
Awesome.
Anything special you need about it, or do you just want it to be warm and cozy, or over the top of your armor here?
Warm and cozy. Maybe sized for someone that's like a giant cat person.
A little bit bigger, got it.
Yeah. Make it
Yeah.
fierce looking.
I'll throw some intricate details on there. It'll be ferocious. And she would like take I'm assuming you would hand her like the wool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
giant
she would
ball of wool.
She would take the wool and she would like put it in like a just like a satchel of sorts, like a bag, that she has behind the counter, an empty one. You can tell that she has a couple of them just here in case people bring miscellaneous stuff that they don't know what to do with. But this one, this one has a purpose, as she packs it up. All right. Well, we were really just staying open, making sure that we weren't sure if you were going to come at this point or not. Garm, I know, was willing to crash here for the night, just in case. But since you all came to pick up the armor, I think we're gonna go get some sleep. It's late. And you would hear Garn chime in. I might go stop at the North Look for a drink or something first, but we're gonna be hitting the hay here soon.
Alright, sounds good. And I head out, leave them. But yeah, it is late.
Yeah, it's early morning.
Yeah. Let them get some sleep.
As you all step out of the Black Iron Blades, you would see that like Garm pulls out like a set of keys and like locks the place up, and you hear large tumblers from within the door begin to turn as the metal shoots into the other side. You hear a loud clunk, and they would depart. Elza would depart the opposite direction of you guys, heading more so into town, crossing town square. Garn would, I guess, where are you guys heading? I didn't even ask.
I'd probably say just back to the ship at this point to take some rest and go from there.
Okay. As you guys make your way to the north end of town, I'm gonna say, Athros. You know what? No, there's 4 of you, and Ohno's slung over someone's back. I'm gonna say everyone make a perception check.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys all rolled great. As you're walking your way to the North Look, you see a glimmer streak across the sky, shooting upward into the air. And then maybe no more than 2 or 3 seconds later, you see a explosion up in the clouds, and a shockwave of air would come, and like I would say maybe another 2 or 3 seconds after that, a shockwave of air would rush down at 10 towns. It's a bit of pressure. The ground would rumble as well. And Garn would look to all of you. The fuck was that?
Yeah,
not
that's
quite
weird.
sure, but looks like we're heading back to our place to take a night's rest. So best of luck with that.
Well, it was up in the air. I've never seen anything like that before. It broke a small hole in the clouds. I'm gonna just pretend it didn't happen. And he's like, you can tell like he's like almost like salivating at the thought of drinking drinking some ale at the North Look. That like the little bit of saliva that he had on his lips is like freezing over. I'm just gonna pretend it didn't happen. I'm just gonna go get myself a drink and go to bed. And
So
you would
that's
hear it.
the first time that's ever happened that you know of.
It's the first I've seen anything like that before. I mean, a while back there was that incident over by the over behind the cold storage, made a big old hole in the ground, but I don't know if they're related. I'm not really that kind of person. Not gonna put those two together. Assume anyway.
I would definitely say, comfortably speaking, that those are unrelated. I just have a very strong feeling.
As you, I would say at this point you're probably about 40 feet south of the North Look, as like Garn's getting ready to turn off and head into the establishment, or try to, depending on if Scramsax is close the doors or not. As you're getting closer to your vessel, you would see another streak, similar in nature, but this one you would watch streak across what looks to be a large snow mound, maybe about a half a mile back behind Sharaha, your living vessel, and it you recognize the streaks as Irini's the beam that she can fire from herself, and as it streaks into the snow, you see a large eruption of like radiant energy completely destroy that mound that was there, and another shockwave of air rushes in, blowing a bunch of snow up against the wall of Brinshander itself. Wind pushing up against you guys as you would witness this just outside of town.
Well, don't think we can ignore that. So let's head over there and see what's happening.
Yeah, let's do that.
And I start running.
Everybody following? I'm assuming, because it's Big Tune and Athros, Ibrin and Miris, are you guys following?
Yeah, I'd start following them.
Sure, I'll do the same.
Okay, you all take off into a nice run, heading to Sharaha, and as you, because I imagine the vessel is probably parked like parallel to kind of how the walls run. As you reach the other side of the ship itself, you see the Child of the Red Sun floating in the air in its childlike wonder, and you see the familiar sight to everybody except Miris, who was not there, of Irini standing outside in the snow. You would see the familiar sight of green and black vapor emanating off of her exposed skin that she has. As you all kind of approach, you would see once again as well, her eyes appear to glow. One of her eyes is her standard like turquoise blue, the other one that of a crimson red. And she appears to be trying to attack the Child of the Red Sun. And you would see her once again fire another beam attack, this one disappearing once again up into the sky, and then she would see all of you approach, and the Child of the Red Sun would speak. We had a deal. And Irini, with a voice that is that of Irini herself, and another voice that's overlapped with that you don't recognize, in unison would say, you had a deal with the Broken. You did not have a deal with me. Why are you here? As she's like actively trying to hunt it down. She would look and see all of you here. Why is the Child of the Red Sun here? Before going back to like face it, this time holding, like, she has like the prismatic like flower that appears beforehand is like primed and ready. But no beam fires out of it this time, as she's like waiting for a response.
Well, you see those two, and I'd point towards Athros, and then Ohno being C-3PO'd by them. They originally made a deal on Blight Fortress, and then when we were battling our lives to get that ship, and I'd point towards the ship working, Ohno was worried about us not succeeding, and renegotiated the terms, and now this person won't leave us alone, essentially. I think that's pretty much the gist of it, right?
I look over at Ethan like, dude, why do you gotta tell everyone everything? Can't you just like lie and be like, I don't know? Why do you gotta write me out like that?
Well, you didn't renegotiate the terms, so.
I didn't renegotiate.
Right,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You didn't.
They were good terms.
Well,
That's
now
why
that the cat's out of the bag.
That's what I just said. You didn't
cat's in the bag right
renegotiate.
now.
This is true. It's not as warm anymore.
Yeah.
The Child of the Red Sun. Here, negotiating a new deal. Out of the prison that it was put in ages ago. Do you understand the power behind this creature?
Nope.
This creature has the ability, should it desire, to bring as much of humanity as it wanted under its control within a matter of weeks. And yet he's here.
Families count on the Social Security and healthcare benefits they've earned.
Yeah.
If I could
what do you
banish
do
it, I
with
would.
She rejected plans to privatize.
Well, our only options were either negotiate with this to get teleported to Brainshander to stop a giant metallic dragon from destroying all of 10 towns, or by the time we would walk and get here on foot, all of 10 towns would have been destroyed, so.
By her.
No, that was by the metallic dragon, and
I mean, the Metallic Dragon was of her plan, I'm assuming?
hers isn't a deity, or Oral, or Hedrun.
The person that's controlling Irini, I think? I don't know.
I thought it was Hedrun and DiGiorno that were about that.
Are you saying all
thought
this
they were
out
all-
loud?
Yes, this is all
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it was confused. Like, I thought they were like all more or less on the same team. Were they not?
I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised, but
I am nowhere. I am in no way involved with the events that are transpiring in the north. Remove
And
that
who are you
from your thought
exactly?
process.
Just, are you Hedrun?
No,
Oral?
no.
Irini?
We can talk in a moment. For now, I must silence the child. And you would watch a series of events unfold in a matter of seconds of the misty vapor that encapsulates Irini's form right now. For a moment appears a very similar color, like a turquoise blue, to her other eye. And she utters an incantation, and then quickly fires another one of those beams that she can fire up into the sky, creating another pocket within the clouds with the explosion as the child of the red sun dodges out of the way. But you watch as the child of the red sun, as it dodges out of the way, dodges into what now appears as almost like an open portal. And as the portal closes, the child of the red sun disappears out of sight. The portal itself being a similar blue color. You watch as, after this happens, and the child of the red sun, before the portal closes, you would hear in the back of your minds, "I will return. The timeline of the instrumentalist must be verified." As the portal closes and he disappears. And Irini, in this state, falls to their knees, breathing a little bit more heavily, but the turquoise color that had replaced the green once again becomes that green and black. We haven't been formally introduced. Allow me to introduce myself. I am who Irini refers to as the Nameless. A person, or a fragment, bound to her soul since she ventured to the north here. Her and I have been in conversation, and I hate to say, but I have learned now that when Irini is inebriated, she is very persuasive. And for a brief period of time, her and I switched places. She's still here, she's just fast asleep. As it breathes heavily before standing up once again on her feet, her hooves planting firmly in the snow.
So that wasn't really much of an introduction.
So
There's
you
an
got no name?
explanation. Well, is the Nameless really a name, or do you actually have a name? He's Athros, and I point towards Athros. He's Bigtone. I'm Ibrin. That's Ohno. That's Miris. That's Irini. You
We could
have
give
an
you a
actual
name.
name, or were you just the nameless?
My name has been unfortunately lost to time.
I bet it's Karen.
It's possible, but I don't know
Or
it.
Carol.
Or at the very least, I guess the proper way to explain the situation is that I cannot say my name.
Cool. So, what's your beef with the child?
Well, if you can't say your name, if you spelled it out, could we say it? Does it break like a curse or something on you?
My name
But yeah,
has no...
ultimately, what's the beef with the child?
I wish I could tell you more beyond the fact that when I was, well, whole, named, and many, many ages ago, the child, a being far beyond many of our comprehensions, is the reason why Vas'Kai and Weird are no longer in peace with each other. Turned the world against itself. All for the sake of its own entertainment. It's not that they are a being outside of the control of many other people, many gods even. They've been here since before the world itself became what it was. Hold on, freaking ads. But when I was alive, or at least whole, I don't know. There's lots of parts of my life that I don't recall. A lot of it feels like it's been erased. But when I switched places with Irini, I was overcome with a sense of anger, a sense of almost an angry fear of what they could do. But from what I understood, they currently can't harm all of you. He kept reiterating the deal. We had a deal, and made no attempt to fight back. I assume that was part of the arrangement from either you and the small one over in your bag, or the renegotiations of a deal with just the small one in your bag. I don't know the specifics. I just know that, based off of my past experiences with them, to defend Irini and to keep her safe, I felt it was best to remove them from the picture. So I sent him somewhere within my power, though I'll be honest, will not be there long.
I mean, if I'm being honest and I look at everybody, we don't like that person. So, yeah. We weren't, or at least I had no intention of stopping you from special beaming that dude with your power. Hey, now that you've done that multiple times, can Irini do that more than once? Or is she only stuck with, like, being able to do that once a day?
We can discuss this more. I think it would be better if we moved inside, considering that at least one of you is shivering. And she would look to, like, Ohno, who would be... He'd be shaking a little bit. Atrus, you can kind of feel him shaking in your bag a little bit, since the wool's not there to keep him fully warm. Yeah, it sounds really good right now.
Yeah, and Talk about some other things, like you can take his shackles off, right? Right?
Let's talk inside. I do know this is
Sounds like a
something
plan.
that you were worried about. As I envisioned, the party would waste no time stepping within Shiraha itself, entering a very nice climate, maybe being, I would say, between 60 and 70 degrees. It's very, very, a much needed change to the frozen north. I do not have long in this state, so let me get down to the details. Yes, I can remove Ohno's shackles.
Will you?
I will. But I do warn
Cool.
you, it does come at a cost.
Of course, there's a fucking cost. There's always a cost with everything.
Not to
Yeah,
you.
like
This is very important to keep in mind. The cost would come to Irini. It's not a permanent thing, it'd be temporary, but the level of power that is needed to remove those shackles is far beyond what Irini can do on her own right now. In order for me to channel enough energy for her to break those shackles without possibly hurting Ohno in the process, to do so I would be pulling from wells of magic, from her physical vitality, to a point where she would have to go into a state of recovery for the next few days. She would be essentially comatose for, I estimate, probably 3 to 4 days. However, before anybody raises any form of rebuttal to this, this would be a benefit to Irini as well, as her being in that state of vulnerability could help her to unlock more of my own latent abilities for herself. She'd be able to access more of what I can do on her own. She would not need me to emanate from her as I do now, to take over, to switch places. She could not break the shackles with this newfound power, but it would be a bit of a bump compared to her current capabilities. However, she would be unavailable to you during your battle against Hedrun. It's a trade-off. One that I think would be worth making, but it's not my decision to make. So,
I mean, I don't have the most spell casting ability, but I do have some arcane ability. Are you able to pull ability from others to help with this process to lessen the load, so that way she's not out of commission for 3, possibly 4 days?
I knew someone might ask that, and I've thought about it. It would not be within my current wells of ability to pull from anybody else. I have to pull from Irini because that is who my soul is bound to.
So this wouldn't guarantee that she could remove the shackles, just assist in removing the shackles, if I'm reading this right?
She could remove the shackles.
Oh, she could.
She
Just
could.
straight up remove. Okay.
It'd
And
be
then would you be able to do this potentially multiple times in case, let's just happen to say someone else gets these shackles again? Or is it a one-time deal?
Should you... did you say that out loud? Or is that like
Yeah.
in your Aethros? Okay. As she hears you say that, Aethros, she looks like down at her hands and then looks to Ohno, looks to you. Doing this once pulls enough power that it would send Irini into this state. Should Irini become stronger through physical, magical means, the level of detriment that it would be to her continually will be reduced. Her body will become used to the level of magic that's being pulled from, well, herself, her reserves, her power. This is something I can do when I'm in control, until she can learn to do it on her own, which it takes a lot. I don't know how long that will be for her. You guys have been adventuring for a while. I've spoken of your travels with her. The answer is yes, I could do it multiple times, but not in a row. So
Okay.
don't get shackled again, or you won't have me to help get you out of them.
So don't get shackled on our way to, what's her name?
That would not be a good time. And
Are you go? Are you able to cast Irini's abilities at the moment? Because I mean, if Aethros, if you guide me again and Irini can inspire me at least a few more times, we could try it that way. I mean, ultimately, it sounds great for Irini, but we're definitely going into battle with something soon. I imagine we would want our full force being able to help.
Well, yeah, it sounds like right now it's a trade-off where, okay, we'd lose Irini now, but we'd gain Ohno. And we'd only lose Irini for the short term, but then we'd have both of them after our battle with... Why do I keep blanking on her name? Hedrun.
to answer your question, Ibrin, I do have limited access to things that Irini can do right now. I could probably try to use some of her magical ability to provide assistance in your attempts to break the lock. My time in this form is limited. I have merely but a few minutes left before my own abilities tapped out, given the amount of force I exerted trying to chase down the child of the Red Sun. So the decision will have to be quick. But should you want to try to break them yourself, I could do that once or twice. And then you'll have to make a decision of whether or not you would like me to break them.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
Aethros,
let's do that.
Alright.
Yeah, I bolster. Don't forget you have to eye bolster. I just remembered that.
Oh, yeah, I do. So it's 1d4 plus 1d8.
Yeah, and then
plus
yeah.
Irini's inspiration, or the Irini Nameless inspiration, which would still be 1d8. You do not get advantage though.
I mean, after I rolled it.
Well, you didn't ask. Doesn't matter.
I'm working with Ohno.
But Ohno hasn't done his own locks. Ohno did Big Toon's locks. You had advantage on that one. You did not have advantage on Ohno's locks. It didn't matter. The first roll was the one that was higher.
Yeah.
29 does not do it.
But remember,
you do have Psy Bolster. That's true.
But also remember, it's not including the +3 from my proficiency, so that would be 32.
Oh shit! Shit!
I knew you were gonna say that, so I thought about adding it, but I'm like, maybe he'll remember.
Nah, I forget things all the time. No, that'll do it. That 19 came in clutch.
I think I got this time. This motherfucker's gonna work!
And then you hear as you're yelling at the lock, you hear the final tumbler crack. And you watch as these magical shackles, like this large lock breaks open and the shackles vanish into thin air. I can move again. I never thought I'd miss my arms being able to move. They're starting to fall asleep there.
You only have the shackles on for what, 2-3 hours? That's nothing.
They're tight.
At least he didn't turn into a sheep. There's that.
Yeah.
I do still have all my magical items.
So, Nameless, I think the power up for Irini, can you do that at another time now? Because I think if we can have all of our members here for this upcoming party battle, it'd be more beneficial.
That is understandable. Irini and
Nothing
I can
against
discuss.
you.
Irini and I can discuss an opportune time to go into this state and give her more access to what I can do. until then, I wish you luck on your endeavor. Time is running short.
They charge you a lot.
And she's gonna like, I'm gonna lay down, otherwise Irini will fall and hit the floor and it won't be pretty. And she just like leans up against one of the pillars inside the in Shiraha and like falls to the ground. Good luck. Don't die. And don't let Irini die. As you would watch as the vapors themselves once again disappear. The crimson eye that was overtaking one of Irini's returns to its normal turquoise blue, and Irini, snoring very loudly, falls over and is laying on the ground, very close to Maitra, who has since fallen asleep inside the workspace of the second layer of Shiraha. You got out of your shackles. You didn't have to do anything sad.
Back in time, I'm able to do something in this party.
Yeah.
Everybody else being able to talk in each other's fucking heads now. Annoying.
And you didn't need to use your side bolster.
Yeah, I didn't.
Thing that you've never used.
Yeah, you know, that's just that gifted apparently, or I just roll that bad where it doesn't matter. Anyway, oh no, you have a book for us, Athros? Somebody to read now?
Right. But before we get to the book, Athros, it's been poking me in the ass this whole time. I want to make sure I give it to him. And Athros, you would watch as Ohno pulls out from his bag a little, what looks at first glance like a little statue. And he holds it out close to you, and you see that he has taken some time and crafted a little action figure of you like standing on a triumphant pose over like a rock with like Spirit Breaker in your hand. And there's like little bits of like charlatan that are kind of mixed in on like the armor pieces to give it like a little bit more color. The armor that it's crafted with would be the armor that you were wearing before. So not your most recent mithril armor, and it would be your shell shock shield compared to your new the new shield that you had just recently acquired. But you see Spirit Breaker, like a little carved out Spirit Breaker, in like one of your hands, and you have like a triumphant face. I'm gonna just throw this in your inventory.
Damn, I don't have that up his ass. Do you have every one of us up there in a statue form, or what's up? Just him?
Do you really want to know? I mean, he's got a bag of holding, or a pocket of holding.
Is that what he's using that space for now?
You have a it's under your loot on your character page, Athros. If you want to read the description.
You have an ass statue of yourself.
Yeah. It was poking me. It wasn't up there. But anyway, Athros, I'm sorry I renegotiated the deal. I know we discussed this already, but I wanted to give you something as an apology, so I made this for you.
Apology accepted. And Athos is just looking at it. It's so happy.
Anyway, I was at To Beef It a Method, and going through some of their books on history and lore and stuff like that, and I found in one of their books on, well, it's not just specifically this Ziggurat that we're going to be going to, but it's the one there's a couple of them that are scattered across Vas'Kai, and the one up in the north here is just north of the woods of Lonelywood. So it'd be maybe like an hour if we're traveling on Shiraha, north of Lonelywood, just at the edge of the forest. There's a little pillar that's sticking out of the ground. It's mainly underground. The Winters of the North have buried it here, and it'll most likely be buried completely at some point. But they've been around for thousands of years, and they're used for a bunch of different things. But I know where we have to go, and I know time's not exactly on our side. Like, she's probably there preparing her ritual right now, given how much time we've spent, well, here, but I know where we have to go. So whenever we're ready to go, we should. Otherwise, we run the risk of her completing the ritual, and then there's no Atina, there's no Sienna. Matra's gonna be down 2 sisters, and the way she made it sound was that the North is not going to be the same, and she promotes Oral's ideology, so it's gonna get cold real fast. But we have to go here, and I'm gonna make a circle, goddamn map, because I realize I didn't put anything there. Let me draw. Big black O, just north of Lonelywood. It'll take us a couple hours to get there, but considering how fast we travel now compared to how it was before, I'm sure we'll make it in time. So, I'm ready to go whenever everybody else is. I mean, I gotta maybe change myself. I mean, I haven't used the bathroom forever. There's a bathroom somewhere on this vessel. Anyway, that's not important. Are we ready? Do we need more stuff? Are we ready to go?
I think I'm ready to go die.
I think we're ready, but I think a few of us need a rest. And I'd point at Aetheros because I'm pretty sure one of those cards you drew gave you some exhaustion.
Yeah.
If we're traveling immediately, you might maybe get rid of that.
Yeah, also looking at the number of spells I can still cast today, it's like, yeah, I
I was
can use
gonna
a
say
long rest.
otherwise, if we have time, we think to wait till morning. We could do that as well. That way we're all fresh.
Here's my idea. We'll start our rests here. We'll rest until we start seeing first light, and then I'm just gonna start sending us there, whether we're awake or not. And if you're still asleep, then you can continue your rest. I'll make sure that you hopefully have enough time to do that before we get there. But
I mean, I only need 4 hours for a long rest, so if you wanna.
need 4 hours of deep trance, 4 hours of light activity. So you still have to not do anything extensive.
I thought it was just 4 hours for a long rest. Damn.
Nope.
All
It's
right.
4 hours of deep trance, 4 hours of light activity, like reading a book or like working on a small tinkery project. You don't get, elves are kind of, elves are different, but you still need the full 8 hours to do something. You just don't need to like sleep because you don't really sleep. So, but yeah, half of it'll be you in a meditative trance state. The other half would be you doing something along the journey.
Okay, I redact what I say. Or recon what I say. Never mind.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, before I take a nap, am I still?
You're still here. It was
okay. Did. Yeah. Does anybody by chance need a curse removed from them, or any other like weird healing stuff before we go fight this boss? Some lesser restoration, maybe remove curse. Just trying to think of anything I can use my spell slots on before we go to fight.
Harris?
Yeah.
You buy anything weird from that person that needs a curse removed?
I don't think so.
At the very least, you know that you are not cursed. Yes. The item that you have, while remove curse will remove your attunement. It won't actually remove the curse of an item. But it'll remove your attunement for future references. But it's like if anybody has a cursed item that they cannot part with, this gives you the ability to remove said item from your possession, so you are not cursed by it anymore. Yeah. But the item that you have does not require attunement. So while you have a cursed item, or at least Isham implied very heavily that it was some form of cursed item, you're not negatively affected by it, at least right now.
Oh, cool.
It's in your bag, hanging out, little statue guy. But
yeah, no curses need to be removed. No, I could dispel magic on something. I don't know if this would help. I'm just trying to think. I got 1/3 level spell slot left.
I
I'm
think
good.
I think I'm good. Ohno would chime in. I don't remember buying anything cursed, and any of the other items that might have been, I think were on Big Tune, and they might be gone. Sorry, Kitty.
You know, that's a
You
good
know.
point. I'm gonna cast Remove Curse on Victune just in case to be safe.
Okay.
Definitely a good call.
Yeah, Remove Curse.
Uh,
You can remove the curse of my internet dropping.
that's bestow curse. That's different.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what this deck is doing, but just to be safe, you're good for now. And then I'll cast a Lesser Restoration on Irini, because it sounds like she's kind of hungover, and maybe this will help her out a little before we go to battle.
Oh, I did grab my sword, by the way. I don't know if that came through.
Okay, you did
No,
grab
Since
got
we're
it out.
on
you
the ship.
grabbed Flare Glimmer from your
Yes.
room. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna go to bed. So, yeah. What that background noise said, and I'll see y'all in 8 hours.
Okay. Sounds good. Sleep well, everyone. I'm gonna just make sure that Irini and Matra are okay. And she like make sure that he makes sure like their heads are turned to the side, so that way in case they vomit, that it's just like not gonna freaking choke them, and goes into his and like Irini's place of rest, and will disappear himself for a few hours. At this point, anybody who's going to be taking a long rest can take a long rest. So I will move time forward to dawn.
That's right. I forgot I had taken 30 points of damage.
Yeah,
Yeah, from the fall.
that fall though.
Mm-hmm. So, what is fall damage?
Like 2d6 for every 10 feet past the first 10, I want to say.
Yeah, 1d6 per 5 feet, or 2d6 per 10. You can do it either way.
Yeah.
But no matter what, it caps out technically at 20d6. But I don't believe in that, and that's going to go into a homebrew rule where fall damage does not have a cap. It depends on your fall. So just keep that in mind, all you non-monks out there.
I'm trying to think. One time I did calculate what terminal velocity was, and we based it off of that, but it was still an absurd amount of damage. Like, it was averaging out to like 1,000 damage.
Yeah,
If you
that's
reach terminal velocity.
you're literally just like a freaking human, or
Yeah.
a fleshy comet just hitting the fucking ground.
Just flat, and there's nothing left of you.
As the morning rolls around, given that everybody except for Ibrin requires that sweet 8 hours of sleep, you would notice, Ibrin, that at some point in the morning, right around first light, the vessel would start moving. You would hear the sounds of it scraping up across the snow, and oh no, and I mean, you would hear the sounds of scraping across the snow as Ohno takes the helm and begins guiding it towards your destination to the north.
I kind of jerk in bed with the ship starting to move. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're moving, so I guess I'll start to get ready and take my time and slowly get ready and eventually mosey on over up to the top.
And it would be another, because you guys went to bed at 1 a.m. You guys would be officially able to wake. As all of you, one by one, begin waking, you would like peer out the side of your of the small window that is embedded within each of your rooms. With the exception of the middle room, I don't remember, is that Big Tune and Athros? Or is that, I don't fucking remember.
No, I got the starboard side.
Oh, right. Well, whoever has the middle room would not be able to see it. But as the party wakes up, you would see what looks to be pillars of light in the sky, making their way toward in the direction that you're heading. So it'd be parallel to the ground. as you like take a look back, wondering where it might be coming from, you see small beads that shine a little bit brighter than the radiant like light itself, that seem to be coming from various areas across the north here. You feel rather confident, those of you who would think about it, that it's probably coming from the pillars that have been erected in the middle of these towns. As I would say, let's see, how many towns were affected? 1, 2, 3. It would be a total of 5. 5 total pillars of light. So it'd be 3 on the left side and 2 on the right, making their way to a central point.
Want to keep your
God, these
hairline where it
ads.
is? Through hims.com. you
Apple
can
Music
explore
better be
a range
working
of
next week, or
options
I'm
that
gonna
work
throw
best.
hands. Anyway, just random like skincare and like beard care ads, and I'm just like, I mean, nice, but there's no one selling papers up here to advertise these things to the party. Anyway, sorry. When I was in my camping for the schools, every time we had an ad come up, we'd be like, oh my god, the paper boy's at it again. Just like in the distance, you hear him yelling. Because it was a lot of pizza ads for local restaurants in the Fandolin area. Anyway, as you approach your destination or begin getting close to it, all of you begin waking up, making your morning preparations, and you would hear Ohno in the back of your minds, as he can speak to any creature with telepathically while in control of the helm. We're very, very close to our destination here. We might wanna, if you're not ready yet, now's a good time to wakey and be ready. We got maybe 15 or so minutes before we're there.
I run up to Ohno and I show him my new shield. Like, can you make this magical like you made my turtle shield, real quick? Can you infuse this?
Take a look at his ability once. Because because he took the helm, and he wasn't missing any like HP and spell slots, I had him, I think, do a short rest instead of a long rest.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think he's going to be able to, but I'm gonna just verify that feature. Because that's, I think, is this his magical tinkering?
I was infusing an item.
Oh,
Magical
yeah.
tinkering's like the mundane effects.
Oh no, you're right.
Yeah,
when you finish a long
think
rest,
no.
so
Yeah.
he will not be able to for this one.
All right.
He would shake his head and, sorry, I wish I would have known. I mean, it would have really helped. If we had more time, I would have.
It's okay. And then I look at like both shields, like, do I want to just use 2 shields?
There are builds that make that valid.
Yeah.
Everybody would be.
I'm ready.
Okay. Anybody else have any extra preparations for the morning that they want or need to do? Ibrin, you would have been awake for the last probably 4 hours. You would have been awake for the last 4 hours. So if there was anything that you were going to try to do or wanted to do that is considered light work, you could do that. I don't know if there's anything in specific, or if you're just reading one of your books that you have acquired over time, or something else.
Yeah, I'd probably just continue to work on one of my books, try to finish it.
I envision that you're probably reading, like, at least today, given you had 4 hours to kill, you probably pulled out, like, the archery book that you had picked up to begin working on, just, like, understanding depth to maybe improve some skills down the line, but you're probably about, like, 3/4 of the way through that book by this point. Not because you read it so fast, but because you've been working on it previously, too.
100%.
As, you would, if nobody else has anything extra that they need to, that they're worried about, you would hear Irini and Maitra wake up, and Irini would just be like, "Oh, my head. I mean, I don't feel like I have to vomit, so I guess that's a good thing. Hey, Maitra, wake up!" And she would like slap Maitra to like wake her up, and like Maitra, this little elven girl, like it leaves a nice red mark on her cheek, and she like wakes up, and the two of them groggily get up, but Irini seems in a much better place, Aethros, than you feel like she would have been had you not cast Lesser Restoration. That was a good move. She just like takes an extra moment. She just she got a little toasty last night. And her and Matra like start making their preparations. And Irini would like yawn and then look to the party as she's like strapping like the weaponry that she has like to her side. All right, so run me through our plan one more time. We're just going in and killing that witch lady, right? Right, that's the plan, or is there more that we have to do? Is it just kill her? Is it smack her with the hammer? Is there more things I got to do?
Shoot her with the cannon on the ship? I don't know.
I was gonna say there's a pillar that's glowing, so I mean, if we'd line up the cannon, I imagine I would have the best opportunity to
Definitely
hit
shoot
it. Yeah.
Well, the pillar is like pure energy. It's like straight up Arcana. You get a vibe of like heavy arcane energy. It doesn't really have a true physical malleable form. You feel as though if you fired a cannonball at the pillar of light, that it would just go through the pillar of light.
Oh. Well, if we see, well, never mind. I was gonna say if we see her sister, we could fire one, but it's probably not the best idea. My plan was the cannon to the pillar to have that stop glowing, but I didn't know it was a.
Yeah, like
one where
there's
the ball would
nothing on
go
the
right
ground.
through it. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a statue pillar. You can make it crumble and stop working.
Yeah.
Stop asking research questions to ChatGPT.
Get rid of my stupid ad one more time so I can get
reliable.
serious. As you guys like, as Ohno would like turn the vessel so that way it's like facing the entrance to the Ziggurat itself. You watch as like all the pillars of light that are coming from the various parts of town, they all converge on a point and they shoot straight down into the Ziggurat.
Okay.
So there's not a physical pillar that is like made of like stone or ice or anything like that they're connecting to. They're connecting together and shooting straight down into something else. Yeah, something within the Ziggurat itself.
Yeah, cannonball to the front door.
Okay. That is something that would be within your power.
I mean, if you could load it, I can make it get there straighter, better accuracy.
What, you think I don't have good accuracy?
I'm not saying
These
you
are
don't.
perfect accuracy. Have you ever seen a miss with a bow and arrow? No, that's right.
I haven't seen you use a bow and arrow.
Exactly. I'm that good. Yeah, I'll load the cannon.
Okay. Make your way to the front and load up a rather large cannonball into the cannon itself.
The whole time I'll look at Spit, just be like, this could have been you.
Yeah, Spit.
All the glory.
You would find Spit like he didn't know that people were going to be up in the cannon. He seems to have fallen asleep somewhere in this area, and I'd imagine you probably would have like woken him up on your way to fire the cannonball. As he as he looks, he's like, no fire.
Yes,
please.
Yes, fire.
No
you
fire.
No, oh no. Well, I mean, we could if you really want to be the hero, but
no fire me.
You know, or some rock in there. You want to shoot the cannon?
Yeah. And he like shakes his nods his head like ferociously fast. Shoot cannon, go boom.
Yeah. As I'm looking at Ibram, like, well, now the two of you got to fight it out.
I mean, Spit, we can fire it at the same time. You can help me out. We can make something go boom together.
He like tilts his head like an inquisitive dog, and then nods his head. Okay, refire, go boom.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold up my hand like a fist bump towards Spit. I'm like, let's do this.
And he gives you he responds it in kind, a little more forced because he's super excited. Okay,
yeah,
refire, go boom.
I forgot how swole you got, Spit, man. All right. think that wasn't my strong hand. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna head up towards the cannon, I guess, with Aethros and Spit.
Okay.
Are we in the area?
You're
yet
in
to
the you're
even-
in the front of the ship, yeah. You're in the cannon. Like the area is big enough to fit like 3 people comfortably. So
Right, but are we within range of this
yeah.
target? Oh, all right. So
Oh no,
how do you want me to?
getting the
How
vibes
do you
that
want
you
me?
were like that you're going to fire the cannon. You should, I think, given. Let me just check the item to make sure I actually put that in there. Okay, yeah. You should be able to just like roll on the Shira, because you have access to the Shiraha page. It's under vehicles. And access the front-mounted cannon off of the character sheet for it. And you just
Oh,
roll that.
is that under features?
Be under
Yes, it is.
weapons. Should be.
I can pull up the description, but it's not letting me pull up like a roll for it.
Okay, so go over the image that looks like a cannon. There should be a dice that appears. There you go. And then
gives all of us the
you'll
option
have to
attack
add
with it?
as a situational bonus your dexterity modifier. Just because anybody can use it, I didn't add one directly. So add +4 to that to your attack roll. Anyway, sorry, I missed you there, Aethros. What'd you say?
Oh no, I just noticed that any of us could hit the attack button right now.
Oh. It's probably because it's shared among all of you, is my guess.
Yeah. Like as
With
even
Spit
fire-
helping me, would I have advantage, or would I need to use steady aim to give myself advantage?
Ooh, good question. I'm gonna say. I mean, it doesn't matter either way. Either way, you could get advantage. So it just depends on if you want to be the one to steady everything, you would use steady aim. If you want Spit to have true input on where it's going, then Spit could help you. It just depends on how you want to flavor it. Either way, you'll get advantage on the roll. So if you don't want to think about it, it doesn't matter. Like, it's only a 6-second interval if you really think about it. Okay. That will definitely hit the doors that are blocking off the entryway to the Ziggurat itself. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Then check out Roll20, the best
For
place to play
26
D&D online
damage.
for free. Now you can
Apparently,
finally
it was
enter
targeting
cabin
Matra, but
here
that's
in
okay.
Antarctica.
Oh,
It's okay. It doesn't
Beaver,
matter.
what do you have against Matra?
26
Your
damage.
relationship status is now bad again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you ready the cannonball, and you pull it to fire after you and like Spit find a sweet spot where you think it'll have the most impact, and you fire off this cannonball with a very loud audible explosion that for a moment you see the cannon like recoil back, but the ship has a built-in like almost like a shock absorber within the cannon itself, so that way you don't pin someone up against the wall or decapitate them on accident or whatever. And for a moment your ears ring, but you look out of the small like essentially the guiding hole that you can see in the front of the ship that helps you set your position, and you see a very large plume of ice and dust and rock fly off of the entryway to the Ziggurat itself, leaving you a nice, clean, while doors still like slightly intact on the top, you find yourself that you've created yourself an entryway into the Ziggurat.
How many more
successfully-
cannonballs do we have?
I'm gonna say total. Before you'd have to stock up, you probably have like 15. The ship was not like completely stocked when you guys found it. So you have like 15 or so left, I would say.
Aethros, that was awesome. You want to fire one?
Yeah, I think we just keep firing until we just collapse the whole Ziggurat.
I'm well,
Level the
maybe
place.
like
I mean, usher.
maybe like 2 more. That way all 3 of us get a go. because we don't want to kill Matrix Sisters. Is it just us three up here right now, or is there everybody else just like behind us watching?
It is just you three,
No.
with the exception of like Ohno can still connect with all of you telepathically. I mean, it's one-way response because it's him projecting to you. But if he wanted to talk to you, he could. But it's just the three of you bodies up there.
We load the next one, and then I take the shot with advantage because it's. I got help.
You do. You have lots of help.
Yeah. Oh.
There you go.
The
So it
two
would
ends
be
of the spectrum.
Yeah.
fuck, 12d6. So it's 72 plus 12d6. I still haven't fixed
Okay.
crits because I suck.
Oh. Okay.
So
plus 72.
yeah, just add plus 72 to your situational damage bonus. Okay.
Yep.
Very nice. As you fire another cannonball, this one it like collapses. Like it fires, it breaks off another section of door that was barring other entry, and you watch as it flies inside and like takes out a form of like lit pillar that was inside the structure itself, and you see like there's a dead creature like underneath the stone from the shot. Looks to be like some form of furry beast, but you can't make out what kind at this distance.
Yeah. Who needs a deck of cards when you can have a cannon? This is so much more fun than that deck.
Yeah, we need more cannonballs. This is
Yeah.
We can just fight everybody with this. We don't need to go in person.
Cannons solve every problem. This is just, this is great.
I stick my hand out for a high five to Aethros. That shot was amazing.
Thanks. I give you a high five back.
Chris. Spit, your turn. Fire it up. Let's go.
You would hear Ohno come over the telepathic command to everyone in the group. The three of you being in the front, Big Two, Miras, and everybody else being somewhere in the second story or in the captain's quarters. I see the doors are open. Are we ready to roll out? I'm ready to go.
There's some disturbance connection issues. Spit, hurry up and fire one. Go.
Yeah.
Okay. Make big boom. And he like super excitedly like with some assistance loads up the cannonball because they are really fucking heavy, and you hear another loud explosion. Big Tune, you would just hear 3 explosions in a rather short period of time, like maybe a total of like, is it every other round? So it would be like over the span of maybe a total of 30 seconds. Just kaboom, 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 as Spit fires off his own freaking attack at the structures inside. Okay. My turn.
You get advantage.
Yeah.
And situational bonus, he has a +3, I believe.
He rolled a question mark. Ooh.
Yeah, it's just general GM rolls though. You roll a 28.
No, I was just looking at my actual dice rolls, and they were still really good for that shot.
Yeah, that was insane. For another 49. Okay, so he fires a cannonball, inside. You see that as like it's getting ready to fire, he like plugs his ears, and you see that it takes out another section from within the ziggurat itself, causing more rubble and creating possibly like a pathway to like a shortcut or something to an area of the of an early point within the ziggurat itself. No dead creatures seen. This, you know what? There actually would be. There would be a small pillar of ice in the shape of an ice mephit that was destroyed from that explosion. And I gotta make a little pathway.
So we have 12 more of these. Do we want
No.
to? Wow, Becton, where the hell did you come from?
Oh no, that's not. Not Big Tune.
Hearing
Actually,
in my
oh,
head.
technically I could, but no. I'm just saying for now. We can always get more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, I think
yeah,
we should at least
100%.
load another cannonball just in case, but
Keep one loaded, locked and loaded. Okay.
One
I was
in the
gonna say
chamber.
exactly. I was gonna say, Athros, you could fly. You could fly over there, see if there's anybody in there, and then you could direct the next shot. We could fire one.
I don't want to be in the line of fire.
I mean, we'd wait for you to move.
I can't fly that long.
Oh. Well, how far away
Yeah.
are we from the Ziggurat?
Well, the ship itself is probably a total of like, I'm gonna say like maybe 100 feet from like where you guys blew a freaking hole in the front doors at a really close range for this particular cannon. So
Like,
Yeah.
are we 60 feet away? Are we 30 feet
100
away?
feet?
Are we
100
90
feet.
feet away? 100 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bow of the ship is 100 feet officially from the entrance of the Ziggurat.
If me or Miras get any closer to from the front of the ship, we can just reach out and just say surrender, or more will come.
Yeah.
All right, let's get off. Let's go. Fuck. I'll help Athros. We'll load it up
Yeah.
just in
Load
case.
one just to have on the ready. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, Big Two's little homunculi can, wait over,
Oh, yeah.
wait for the
Oh,
signal.
yeah. Did he ever
fire.
find me?
At some point, he did find you. Yes.
Speaking of if people found other people in our party, is Valine with us?
Yes, she would have come back at some point. I realize I forgot to actually mention that she came back. She would have come back at some point, right before you guys left. So it would have been like early morning.
Is she fighting with us?
No.
So,
You have Ohno back. She's made it very clear that you guys can go about your business, but you're kind of stuck with her until you either return her money so she can find other people, or you complete her quest with her. So, I'm sure one of those is not very possible. So, she's not going to involve herself. If anything, she will maintain security among Sharaha in case there is any form of other counterattack.
And fire the cannon if we need her to.
Ooh, I would say if that was a discussion, make a persuasion check on whether
Okay,
if you
yeah.
really wanted her.
could I help
Like, if
persuade
she's
him?
the only one that's gonna stay back on the ship, be like, if you see anything bad come out the front door, or if we say fire through the front door, can you just hit the button, or?
I mean, we got it locked and loaded. You just,
Yeah.
just light it and
Yeah, okay.
aim a little bit. Try to avoid us.
I'll give you advantage. That's fine.
Alright. Can I get myself guided?
Sure.
Wasting all the good rolls before this boss fight.
Absolutely.
back?
Tabletop role-playing game.
As you all discuss this with her, she would say, "Fine. Should I need to fire the cannon, I will fire the cannon, but I'm not reloading it."
It's also a really cool cannon. I think you'll like firing it. It's just
Oh.
so much fun.
Make things go boom!
Just wait till you have the destruction happen. Oh,
Yeah.
you'll be addicted. It's better than the deck, in my opinion.
Right. Should I need to, I will. But hopefully that's not a problem.
Well, yeah, I hope so too. But I don't
In
think
the case
Matra
of
wants us to
Edwin-
keep launching cannons and potentially kill her sisters, right, Matra?
I would prefer to just not be in the line of fire, in general.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, so we can continue to fire cannonballs, or no?
if we're going to be going into the Ziggurat, I would prefer that no one fired cannonballs, because if one of them misses and, let's say, hits like you or Big Tune, that's a big person out of play here, and she can just kind of come back until she's expelled from my sister.
Oh. They're
So
concerned. But like,
you guys have kind of kept me alive this whole time and brought me back from being an ice statue. I feel like it's a perfectly normal to be at least a little concerned. Anyway, we should go. The more time we're here, the more time she has to prepare, and I don't know how much time is left, but those beams of light can't be anything good. And Ohno would come out of the captain's quarters finally. I'm ready to set out. Are we, we're good? We're good? We're ready to go?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
good. Well, whisper towards Aethos. I tried to get us to launch more, but you know, we gotta go.
We need Ohno to make us like little hand cannons that we can run around with. Like a shoulder mounted cannons. So much fun.
Is that possible? Could we do that? I mean, you have the most
I look
strength.
at-
You could support it. I don't think I could, but depending on the size of it, maybe.
Yeah, you make it small enough, sure, but like you get one that you like strap to my back and then just get down on all fours and you fire it.
As
I'm
you're
not gonna lie.
unloading
that
off the
sounds
side
like
of
the
Sharaha.
greatest thing you've ever said.
It's
Just like
things we can talk about later.
yeah.
I probably could. There's enough tools on that ship to last me a lifetime. Supplies, though, I gotta buy some of those. I can't think about this right now. As he disembarks, everybody disembarks and makes their way towards the entrance of the Ziggurat itself. You would, I'm gonna give you access to the map finally. I just want you all to know that I have been waiting for this for like a month now. So, this map is a pride and joy of mine. Because I made it myself, with the exception of stealing some of the art off of sources.
Looks cool.
God damn it, the fucking menu thing is being stupid again. 1 second. I gotta reload.
This looks very cool.
Mm-hmm.
How much of it did we destroy?
Yeah.
You took out
Oh, this.
you took out a few of the enemies that were in this first room here, and then you created there is you might see it on the left side if you can see it. If you can't, you can't. There's a passageway that goes across where it was a pool of water. That was all collapsed inward now and is literally a pathway that you can cross to get over to the other side with the cannonball. It did some destruction, but it took out a few foes. That you don't have to fight anymore because you killed them.
Very nice.
Should we be seeing all of this, or should there be fog 4 for any of it?
Yeah, I can only see like whatever my normal like circle of
Oh, okay, so that is
Yes. I gotta let me just reset the fog of war quick because I realized I was
can
testing.
see, like all the way up to here.
There's certain areas that you should be able to see based off of your dark vision, and then there's things that you shouldn't be able to see because they should be behind other doors. So for the most part, just take a look at your sheet.
See. I don't know if you can see where my cursor is, but I can see back here. Way back.
Oh yeah,
that would check out because that's 300 feet of dark vision.
Here.
So there's there's foes. I mean, you could see them. That is unfortunate.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to see them right now.
Okay.
We're just gonna hide those people again. You know they're there, but nobody else I think can.
And Aethos isn't gonna tell anyone. He loves the chaos.
But you would see into this first room here that there is a swarm of ice mephits and what looks to be a large yeti standing. Its eyes, instead of glowing the red that you'd kind of see when you guys were just out in the middle of the Icewind Dales, its eyes are glowing a blue as if it's being controlled by somebody else. I'm going to have all of you roll initiative.
Hey boys, looks like we get another Yeti pelt to add to my collection here.
For once, please.
Wait, before you roll. Ben, are you taking the advantage on your roll?
Yeah.
Damn it. I was gonna say you could get that to Bigtune, I think.
I thought about it, but then realized it's too late. And I should have said that before when we were on the ship. And I'm also looking to see where is initiative on the character. And there's just dice everywhere. Now it's covering my sheet.
So if I rolled a
there-
nat 20 on initiative, do I get anything extra? 'Cause
Nope.
I don't think that's happened before.
It's just a dexterity check, so it's
Okay.
just the maximum number that you can roll on your initiative roll. So you've maxed out dexterity for this encounter, which is great because that means you do go first.
Hi.
So
It does.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, you're at the top of the order.
The
so
only
Irini
two
and
people
Ohno
I
haven't rolled. Vixen and I bringing up the rear.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah. With advantage. I still got a 2.
So what did you roll? 1 and a 2? Yeah, you sure did.
Yep.
That's impressive.
Do you want to roll initiative for Irini and Ohno?
Should have already. Oh, never mind, I didn't.
Oh.
Well, it didn't impact you, but it did impact Ohno. So good call.
Yeah, it impacted the party, our group.
Well, I would assume I can't see this person over here, but seeing this one guy 95 feet away, that is a little bit out of my range. So I'm gonna pull out my longbow. Mm,
Make sure
No,
you
I-
target the creature for your attack too. So that
Oh,
way
yeah.
you can apply the damage.
Targets. Attack. I will do it with steady aim.
Okay, so you're going to use your bonus action.
Yep.
Okay, you have advantage. A 16 will hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Sneak attack. Disadvantage.
I would say you could still apply your sneak attack. That's fine. Sneak attack's not like sharpshooter where I demand that you declare it right away. So if you
Okay.
wanted to apply sneak attack to it before I apply the damage, I would say go ahead and roll your dice. Alright, for a total of 17. Oof, that was a good chunk. Good job.
Sneak attack made a big difference.
I wasn't sure because I'm used to it where you guys are around it, not by
Oh.
myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you have advantage on the attack roll, you can apply sneak attack damage. Otherwise, as a rogue, if you have someone within 5 feet, you can apply sneak attack as well. It's really, the thing that you need is is someone within 5 feet or the advantage. So like anytime you have advantage on attack roll. So like if he silvery barbed you and gave you the advantage, you could apply sneak attack to that attack roll. So yeah.
Ooh.
Alright, so you fire off your a regular arrow since it's outside of your psionic range, and you puncture the side of this ice mephit, and it lets out this screech of pain. It's still flying, but the damage that you did looks like it actually did quite a bit just on that first strike.
I hit it. Who's next?
You staying where you're at?
I used it.
Oh yeah, steady aim requires
Steady
you to
aim.
not move. Never mind. Okay. Okay. Actually, I should begin combat actually instead of just not. All right, Ibrin did his turn. Sorry. That'll bring us to Ohno, who cannot see any of the creatures right now. He's going to move forward.
We're giving everyone my special dark vision.
He can move one more. He's not going to have it would be going through hard cover to get to the next one. He's going to... What do we got for spells? We should have overhauled his spell list for today too. Didn't think of that. It's okay. He usually has good spells prepared. I'm not too worried about him. Cure wounds, identify magic missile, shield, silvery barbs. He is going to hold his action. The trigger being if an ice mephit comes within his if the one on the side here comes around the corner, so he can fire here. He could see like maybe a wing. He could probably fire with like 3/4 cover, but he doesn't want to risk it. So he's going to wait. If it comes closer and he can fire off a firebolt, he's going to fire off a firebolt. So he's going to hold his action. That'll bring us to one of the methods. And what do they got? Wow, they do not have a great fly speed. I mean, they're perfect.
Yeah. They got a fly speed. That's pretty good. Most of our party doesn't have a fly speed.
This is true. It's going to dash.
Like to jump.
He meant
Figure
to
out
come over here.
how far away the ceiling is.
He makes his way closer to Ohno, but he is not going to be able to attack as he's burnt all of his energy trying to get closer to him. So that'll bring us to Irini's turn. Irini. What are you gonna do, girly? She's gonna fire off, I think, an arrow with her short bow right now. And yeah, I'm gonna call that. That's what she's gonna do. Short bow. Oof! Okay, she rolled a nat 1. She's going to... I have to roll a d20.
I knew you'd like that, Ben.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay. That wasn't what I was hoping for, but it's going to be what happens. As she pulls back the bow, her trying to start things off strong, pulls the bow back with her strength just a little bit too much, and she ends up snapping the cord on the bow until she takes a turn to maybe restring it. It's currently out of commission. She will, though, inspire. Who do we got coming up? We got Mirrors, we got Spit, and then we got the two strong boys holding up the rear. Okay. She's going to inspire Big Tune, I think, as she plays a little ditty on her lyre.
I kind of want Irini just to start casting Vicious Mockery to like insult these guys, make them feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, given that she doesn't have the bow anymore, that's probably going to be her next round of things. I don't have one strictly for inspiration, so we're going to do... Surprised, because everyone's so concerned about Irini inspiring people with a little ditty. In the good way. Good concern. Okay. Because that's the best way I can think of. That'll bring us to the Ice Mephit, who's going to come around the corner. And that will trigger Ohno's attack of his held action. So he's going to fire off a firebolt. That's going to do damage. Let's see what we got. Oh, you love to see it. As Ohno fires off the bolt of fire at the Ice Mephit, you watch as it explodes into some shards of ice, targeting like the 5 feet around it as the ice shards fall into the ground, but it is instantly killed, as Ice Mephits are weak to fire.
Fire melts ice.
Alright, and that'll bring us to Mirrors. I just realized I removed Ohno from combat. Somehow. I deleted his character on the map. That's why. Okay, gotta bring back the boy. Well, Mirrors, you can do your turn because I just gotta add him back to combat.
Okay. Can I go ahead and cast Hex first before I do any attacks?
Absolutely, you can.
All right. Yep, I'll go ahead and cast Hex on the Mephit right in front of Ohno.
Okay. I will mark him. He's now marked with Hex.
Okay. Okay, and then yeah, I'll move right up next to the method, and then I think I'll go ahead and cast a green flame blade.
Heck yeah, you will. Alright, for 13 fire damage.
Or that's the attack hit.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, yep, that 13 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. Got full of myself for a second there.
There should be another, what, d6 of X damage,
Yes.
if needed.
So, as you, I would say, you know what? It's on him. Go ahead and roll the extra d6 of hex damage too. Not saying it's required, but it's on him, so you should get that applied at the same time. So. Okay. So as you slash, you pull out your dagger, you utter your incantation, and you slice through the ice mephit. You watch as you cut like butter through its icy form, and as you finish the attack, it gets engulfed in those green flames and just instantly shatters. The ice mephit is dead. However, I need Miris for you to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
From a massive parts inventory to the industry's
Very nice.
best prices, there are
You
plenty of
take
reasons to shop at Summit Racing.
you take
And now
2
you're getting another
slashing
one.
damage, so you take 2
Introducing the Summit
damage
Racing Equipment Rewards
Okay.
program. When you sign up for this free program,
as it
you'll start
explodes
earning
into a
speed points
burst
on
in the
eligible
5-foot
purchases.
radius around
And
it.
once you gain 250 speed points, they automatically convert to 5 Summit
He
rides,
dead.
which you can use to save money on your future purchases.
That'll bring
at
us.
Summit Racing.
Is there anything else that you would like to do on your
Ways to
turn,
enroll in this
Miris?
free rewards program.
Nope, that's it.
Automatically enrolled when you purchase
So
Okay.
one thing I just want to make sure we're applying the correct amount of damage. I think it might be more. Ian, what your charisma modifier? Because you rolled a d4, which is your dagger, plus 5, which I'm assuming is your dex.
Yeah, my
damage.
my
then-
charisma.
Oh, it is a spell. That's right.
Yeah, so it should apply both your dex modifier and then your charisma modifier. So your dagger would do the d4 plus your dex. Then the green flame blade by default just does your spellcaster modifier, which is your charisma. Then at level 5 you get the d8. That's where it should be your charisma modifier plus the d8 plus the hex damage of the d6.
So, okay, so because cantrips and spells don't add the extra modifier unless you have the like for clerics, for example, they have an ability that they get at level 8 that lets them add their modifier for their it lets them add their wisdom modifier to any of their cantrips that they cast. It doesn't add the charisma modifier as extra damage. That's only for.
No, so that's where part of Green Flame Blade is.
Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. It's happened.
Wait, no. Oh, no, the second creature.
Oh, it increases to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. So that's where. Okay, so that's where. So yeah, never mind. There should be an extra. The dexterity damage didn't get added then. So it's 1d4 plus 5 plus 1d8. But it really should be 1d4. Okay, I see what you mean. So it should be 1d4 plus his dex plus 1d8 plus his charisma.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I just gotta make an edit on Green Flame Blade then. But given that we're pretty much at time, we'll probably finish out this round, and I will make sure I do that for next week.
It's just I know.
Thank you
Green
for that.
Flame Blade
I
is one of those weird cantrips that it.
No, you're right, 100%.
hard sometimes to
I see
calculate
that now. Yeah, no, that makes sense. If it was below level 5, it'd be different, but we're level
Yeah.
6 now, so it does get added now. So
Uh-huh.
that is my bad.
And then if it jumps to another enemy creature, that's where it's like it just gets weird to keep track of after a while. It can do a ton of damage, and it's awesome.
That's okay.
I just want to make sure.
Well, I'll
you
make
don't
sure that it's
damage.
accurate. I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
All right. You also, because you did take damage mirrors, I do need you to make a Constitution. Is it a Constitution check or a Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration? Because he's concentrating on hex.
Yeah, yeah, I see the pop-up here.
Okay, yeah. Just click that ditty for me.
You got it.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on your turn, Mirrors?
Nope, that's it for me.
All right, that'll bring us to Matra, who's holding up the rear also, in position anyway. She's gonna run in. Make her way up there. What can she see? Her vision is human. It would be. What'd she have for dark vision? Oh no, she's elf. She's not fucking. She's an elf. I believe it's out to, for her, I believe it's out to 120 feet. Because of stuff that she's been going through. Oh yeah, she'd be able to see that. She's going to fire off Eldritch Blast at the Mephit on the far right side, for those of you who can see it.
That's right. She is a warlock.
Yeah.
I was supposed to say Eldritch Blast.
Made
What?
deals, got some powers, MBD.
Mm-hmm.
Normal attack. It is gonna hit. Normal damage. Ooh, Matra actually did damage this time. Usually her damage rolls are like minimal. And at level 5, I believe you get a second one now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then does she have the
Oh wait, no.
agonizing blast?
She's still level 4. Never mind. She
Oh,
does not have
boo.
the second shot. I looked at her. I was thinking like, oh, you guys are all level. Nope, she's not the same level as all of you. She does not. Does she have agonizing blast? That's a great question. Did I give her that?
Which, yeah,
I did
Eldritch
not.
Unification says. Oh, boo.
She has Mask of Many Faces and Beguiling Influence.
Well, okay, actually, that makes sense for who she is as a character, not a fighter.
Right. I mean, when you first met her, she was impersonating her sister. So.
Yeah.
She runs up, she fires a blast. Those of you who couldn't see it, you would see she fired it off in the right direction. Let's see if I can ping it. Now my pings aren't working. This is great. Everything got broken with the update, and I'm finding more things to fix. It's okay. But that'll be her turn, which will bring us to the big boy in the back. The Yeti is going to make his way towards the party, letting off a ferocious roar as he begins, like, almost like as if he's on all fours, like Silverback style. He's gonna sprint towards the party. Right there. Does he have anything for a bonus action? Oh, that is an action. Never mind. He makes his way towards the party, but that's going to end up being his turn. Brings us to another Mephit, who's going to make their way towards the party. Right there. That'll bring us to our boy Spit. Spit has eyes on both the Mephit and the Yeti. He is going to move up a little bit to like Ohno's area. He's going to fire off a shot, I think at the Mephit, because they seem like they go down easier to him. He's trying to use strategies he's seen you guys use in the past. Ooh, and since he's in combat this time, so he's going to target the Mephit, and he has surprise attack, so the first round of combat, he can deal extra damage on his strike. Still a normal attack roll. I was worried that was going to be a 5 for a second there. And then it does an extra 2d6 damage on the hit. As he, okay. He fires off a critical shot, taking reference to Ibrin as he fired off the arrow from his bow. And in a similar fashion, he hits in a location that definitely was a critical blow. And just like Ibrin saying, "Okay, who's next?" you would hear Spit shout out to everyone, "Okay, next!" As yeah, that's all that he can do on his turn this time. Brings us to this guy. Has that much movement. There. Brings us to the other Mephit who Matra shot. And move right there. And then that brings us to Bigtoon, who should be able to see a couple of foes now.
Yes, I can, finally. Where am I? I'm right here. Whoops. Whoa, 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 whoa. Excuse me, please. Okay. Okay, actually, I do want to ask a quick question.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be relevant right now. I'm just curious for future reference. If in some way, some shape, whatever, I felt it were necessary to draw from the deck, is that just going to be would that just be my action, or is that going to be a bonus action?
Here's how I'm going to rule it. If you do not have the deck in your hand and you want to pull it out to draw from the deck, it would be an interaction to pull out the deck, a bonus action to draw your cards. If you have the deck out, like you're not actively like attacking in combat, you have the deck in your hand, or like if you have your shield put away and you have the deck in one hand and your sword in the other, I would argue that it would be your interaction on turns going forward if you just have the deck out. But keep in mind that your cards will, depending on how many you draw, they will take effect immediately on your turn. So over the course of like those 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of like. I was just like, I made a joke to those guys, like if I needed a draw in the middle of battle, I could, like we could. There are ways that we can do it or whatever, but
there is wild magic built into the deck, so there are things you could do.
Right.
Not all of them benefit you.
Yeah, right. Oh, of course, yeah. Okay, I just wanted to get that cleared up right away before we.
100%, and I'll make sure I write that down so I can add that to the homebrew rules thing, because I don't think that's something that's actually clarified. It might be an action in most places. I argue that if you can drink a healing potion as a bonus action, you can draw from the deck as a bonus action. Or you can draw as an interaction if you're not switching out items.
Yeah, because I mean, hypothetically, it would not take 6 seconds to do the physical act of drawing.
Correct.
Okay,
Just please don't draw 10 cards in combat for me. Please don't do that to me.
No,
Not yet.
No. Bigtoon loves battling. This will only be a desperation. Also, how tall is this room?
Ooh, I see. I know why now. I was like, why is that? Oh, wait, it is important now to know the height of the room.
It is.
I would say this room itself is probably 50 feet tall.
A little bit out of range. Because couldn't I technically
Big
use
Toon
my-
coming down from the tightrope.
Yeah.
Couldn't I technically
I
use
know
my
exactly what
shield
you're.
to get
Yep.
up to the ceiling?
If it was 30 feet, or if you had a
Yeah,
way to
within
get that
range,
extra
yeah.
20 feet, yeah, you could attach it to the ceiling. That is something that is specified on your shield, or bracer, I should say. But yeah, you could. You definitely could.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just got that taken care of. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so I need to remeasure this. God bless this fucking trackpad. Sucks ass. Okay, right there. Jesus Christ. Step into right there. And I am going to, I guess, since I don't have anything else I can do, since I can't quite reach that far anymore, I will just cast Magic Missile on him, on the Yeti.
Okay.
Just target him first.
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website you need with full business functionality and a design tailored just for you.
Okay.
Customize every
And then you go ahead and click your damage since it automatically hits.
Your vision come to life in minutes.
Whatever.
Oh, but it's times 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Finest details.
Yep.
Yeah.
Personalized, optimized, ready to go live.
And then... Is he technically within 10 feet of me, or I can't tell based on where these squares are?
Technically he's
Yeah.
at 15 feet.
15, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
He'd be 15 feet.
So I'm
Bracer
gonna
into him.
Nah, I don't want to do that. If it did damage as well as took me over there, which is a future upgrade we were possibly talking about in the future, then sure. But okay. Yeah, I'll just say hi to him.
Lets out a mighty roar as you pelt into him with these bolts of force energy that just pummel into his fur.
Well, if that's the case, then I guess I'm gonna have to roar back, but not a daunting roar, just a.
Make a performance check.
Absolutely.
All right, so the two of you lock into this roaring fit of sorts. You feel that your roar is probably superior to his, but it doesn't seem to waver him. It. Yeti.
Okay, that's all I got.
That brings us to Aethros, bringing up the rear.
Yep. I'm going to move 30 feet up. And then I'm going to target this ice with it. And cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
So it's giving me a new option now for make the deck saving throw. I thought it.
That's do the damage ones. See if it prompts me to make the saving throw then.
It should also be a Wisdom save, or no, this is a deck.
It's a deck save, I believe. All right, has
And
to make
stellar damage.
It did not prompt me, but see if he makes the saving throw. What's your
16?
Beats it with a 17.
Wow.
As your radiant pillar, is it like it's flying forward trying to get to the party? You see the radiant pillar of light shimmer down in front of it, but it's able to like flap its wings to like move its motion off to the side. Does not fall into the sacred flame.
Yeah, it was low damage anyways. And that's my turn.
Okay.
Just a warning shot.
Yeah. Like, hey, be on your best behavior. Don't make me come over there.
Right? As we pick things up at the top of the round, I think we're going to end it there for today. As you guys have entered the Ziggurat now, preparing to try and stop the ritual that Hedrun has started. Yeah, we'll pick it up there with Ibram being on deck first thing next week.
All right.
I'm so freaking excited you guys are in this map now.
Yeah.
Like it's enormous. This is the biggest map I've ever made, so it's going to be a great time, and I cannot wait for you to explore it. So
what he's saying is, don't waste all your spells and good stuff early.
I'm saying
Yes.
you interpret that however you want.
Well, here's the thing: is I have a game plan for defeating her, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's gonna make her draw every single card, so that way she's guaranteed to die.
Yeah.
Checks out.